So here we are in a riverbed, and unfortunately there isn't any water this year. We have had a really low snowpack year, and because there are two dams that provide drinking water for the city of Santa Fe, we're probably not going to see any water in the river unless there's some bypasses of those reservoirs. But because the reservoirs are only at 25% this year, and that supplies 45% or so of the drinking water, there's probably not going to be any water left over for the river until it starts raining in the summer, providing that it does rain in the summer. And so the geography is very limiting, because if you're capturing water upstream a couple of miles and there isn't enough snowpack and flow to bring it all the way down here, then obviously this is what you get. You get a dry, sandy arroyo that people walk and hike in.
If you look back to our founding, there wouldn't be a community of Santa Fe that survived here 400 years if there wasn't a Santa Fe River. And so water management in the Southwest, especially in a town that's grown the way Santa Fe has, is particularly important. And I think the river has many distinct benefits for us. It's certainly a part of our cultural, economic, aesthetic heritage in Santa Fe. I think it's also a sign of how sustainable are we as a community. If our river is dead, really how much longer do we have as a community of Santa Fe in this place? You know, the population of Santa Fe has grown dramatically since probably 1970, and it put a lot of pressure on our water resources. Our consumption patterns for a while looked kind of like we thought we were living in Illinois or someplace that has a lot of water. We had to generate a lot of stormwater, and we were following engineering practices where you just get the water off the roofs and the streets and the parking lots and dispose of it in the river as quickly as you can. So we did a lot of damage to the river with stormwater. We've done a lot of damage to the river with pumping of the aquifers, with channelization, with gravel mining. It was just a resource that we didn't properly manage, and we kind of abused it. So today we have a river that's in need of help, in need of better management. But I think the community is rallying around that now. We see some of the mistakes that were made in the post-World War II era, and we're moving to correct those and to make the river healthier.
I'm standing here on a beaver dam in the channel of the Santa Fe River, and to my right is a dam that's actively being used by the colony of beaver that inhabit this stretch of the river in what was the bed of a former reservoir. And we, the Nature Conservancy, received this property as a gift from the Public Service Company of New Mexico in 2001. This Santa Fe River channel has been restored. We removed exotic trees, mostly Russian olive and salt cedar, and of course Siberian elm, which are very common up here, to allow native trees like the Rio Grande cottonwood and narrowleaf cottonwood, coyote willow, blue stem willow, and cattails and other aquatic plants to recolonize this area. After about 6 years of effort, we were delighted to have a colony of beaver move into the area as well. And as you can see, they have transformed what was largely a riparian forest into a series of ponds and wetlands and rich aquatic habitat only 2 miles from the historic Santa Fe Plaza.
There's some kind of a cultural memory that's saying we're not destined to live along a dead ditch, and that's why you see so many Santa Feans working on this issue.
Generally, the amount of water that we have in this area, in order to support a river system that is 46 miles long, there isn't any way to do that. I mean, it's just a simple mathematical equation.
Well, it's still going to be the Southwest, and it's still going to be drought, and nobody should envision a bubbling brook, or DeVargas may have seen that, but I don't know. You can read the historic literature, and you'll see one guy talk about all the delicious trout they caught from the Santa Fe River, and the next guy through going, yeah, it's dry as a bone. But what it was not doing was eroding 25 feet in 15 years.
So no, there's no way. I mean, all these trees, these elms, these weren't here 450 years ago. I mean, there's tons of problems, and there's no possibility of ever going back to even that, ever. No. And we're in a high desert area, and we've got 2 dams that impound the water for our drinking, and for our bathing, and for our toothbrushing, and for our car washing, and for our coffee, and for our, water is the foundation for virtually everything we do. So with 90,000 people depending on that water and the groundwater, and no, there will never be a river that'll be like that ever again. I think this is pretty much more reflective of how it's going to be over the long term. We're loaded with a lot of things that stress us out, and like if you've got water flowing from your tap, then that's probably just going to be the way you want it, and you won't think about it. So